Good afternoon. I am Chef Sunil. As you can see, I am right now live on Amul, and today we'll be talking about one of my famous eggless recipe, that is a caramel custard. It's a favorite. A lot of people out there, they love they love making it. They love the process. They love the texture. They love the taste. So before we start off, let me just put you live on my laptop also, so I can answer your questions side by side if in case some question comes in. Right. So Amul has been our favorite brand for a long time. We love their chocolates, the Amul bar. In fact, it's been our favorite for a long time. We love the Amul milk. We have grown up having this only. We love the Amul cream. Yes, it's part of, I don't know how many recipes that I've got in my lineup. The Amul ghee, again a part of our kitchen menus. And not to forget their recent developments that they have been bringing to us. So, yes, my recipe talks about certain ingredients. Let me bring them forward and then we'll start off with the recipe. The recipe is very simple. Any one of you can make it at home without any kind of difficulty. As long as you follow the steps which I am telling you, it will always be easier for you. So we have got certain ingredients. We're going to be using Amul milk, the Amul milk, the blue version. That's a toned version. Then we're going to be using Amul cream. We are using Amul curd, followed by custard powder. Any custard powder of any brand will do. We'll be using sugar and we'll be using condensed milk. So condensed milk of any brand, whichever is available to you easily, is to be used here, right? Okay, I think people are having difficulty with the audio. So let me bring up another option for the audio. Let me make it easier. Okay, just give me a minute. Is the audio better now? If I can confirm, is the audio better now? Anupama ma'am, its recipe's name is Caramel Custard, eggless caramel custard, followed by the new development that's taken it has become very famous in the last couple of months, is a Delonghi Coffee will be making. So I'll show you a colder version, the one that is famous, and I'll show you a hotter version also, which is in fact, my favorite stuff nowadays, because when we are studying in the night, that's the thing we go in for. Right, so let's start off. I've got a weighing machine in front of me, so I'm going to turn it on. I'll take up a nice broad glass jar, a glass bowl I'll take, which is supposed to be a bit broad. So I'll take this jar, I'll make the number as 0, and now we're going to start off with the basic ingredients. So we start off with curd. So I take 100 grams of curd. Yes. Along with this, I take 100 grams. I'm going by the grammage. If in case you want to go by the ml, you'll have to convert. So I'm going by the weighing machine. So it's going to be 100 grams of milk. And then we have Milkmaid or condensed milk, whichever brand you want to use. I was able to get the Nestle version, so I got that Milkmaid. You can use the other versions also. So we add about 80 grams of this condensed milk. Do not worry if in case the ratio increase by 5-10 grams, don't worry about it. So 80 grams of this, and then we add 20 grams of cream to this. So now, just to repeat the ingredients that we have added till now, it's 100 grams of curd, 100 grams of milk, 80 grams of condensed milk, and 20 grams of cream that we have added till now. Okay. So after this, we will add two more things that are going to be our main ingredients, the one that will give the texture, the taste to it. So we'll add about half a teaspoon of the vanilla essence. Okay, not too much, because we're going to have custard powder also going in. So do not add anything else apart from this, not too much of it. And then we're going to have custard powder also coming in. So we'll add a full tablespoon, a heap tablespoon. Heap as in like this. So you're actually filling it up. In other one, the what we call level tablespoon, you rub your finger on that or something sharp, so it becomes a level. So I'm adding a heap tablespoon. This is an AP spoon, so I'll add a bit more. So all our stuff that we require for making this base for our caramel custard is right here. So I'll put the machine aside. I don't require the machine now. I'll go for the next step. Okay. So I'll take my blender. You can use a whisk also. I have got a hand blender. So I'll use a hand blender for this purpose. Yes, so we give it a good whisk. Make sure you do it for a good 1–1.5 minutes either with the blender, or if doing by hand, do it for at least 2–3 minutes. It should blend completely. It should become like it should like a soupy consistency. Okay. I guess we are there. Now the thing to notice is the one I'm making right now, we have just added the condensed milk, which is sweet by itself. If in case you like a bit more of sugar to it, you can add about 20 grams of extra sugar to this also. That will also give that taste to it. So there are people who have that sweet tooth, they can add a bit more of that. Okay. So first rule that we always teach our students, and we have been following for the last 15 years and I've been in the line, is keeping the area clean. As soon as you are done, you clean your area. That is very, very important. Okay. So next step that we go in for is making our caramel. Now you might have noticed I have made this mixture, I kept it aside. The reason why I have done it is because now if you will see, I'll bring it closer to the camera also, it has got lots of bubbles on top. So these bubbles are the enemy of caramel custard. We want these bubbles to disappear. How to remove it if in case you are short of time, I'll tell you that part also. In fact, I'll be doing that also. So let's make our caramel. A silicone spatula, heat resistant, and just regular sugar granules, nothing too special. So you are supposed to make sure your pan is completely dry when using it. There should be no water when you're making this. I'm going to make some extra caramel because I like caramel on my caramel custard, lots of caramel on my caramel custard. So leave it like this for about 15–20 seconds. It will start heating up. It's an induction, so it will heat up faster. So this should take lesser amount of time compared to a normal gas range. When you're working on a normal gas range, make sure you're using a non-stick pan or a thick bottom pan. Thin bottom pans work, they actually burn out very, very fast. I remember when I was in my first year of college, I had an opportunity of working with Chef Gaurav, who is the owner for Theo's. He had come as a participant to our chef competition. So I learned it from him at that time in my first year, that when making a caramel, we have to be very careful about the pan that we use. So let this work. This will take just a bit of time. As soon as it starts melting on side, you start mixing it. So unlike the normal caramel that you make, you are not supposed to add any kind of water or any kind of lemon to clarify this thing. It will all happen by itself. The water, when we are baking this, a bit amount of water will be coming from our caramel custard inside our product. Let this melt for a while. Let me see if any problem is there. Okay. So from the starting, the recipe is quite simple, Miss Shruti. So what we do is we go for 100 grams of butter or 100 grams of milk, 100 grams of milk. I'm going to keep everything in front of you. I'll reduce this so I can tell you once again. Right. So 100 grams of curd, 100 grams of milk, 80 grams of condensed milk, 20 grams of cream. These are the four things that are the base. And then you add 1 tablespoon of custard powder and a half teaspoon or maybe 1/4 teaspoon of the vanilla flavor. So guys, this addition of vanilla flavor depends upon the quality of the custard powder you are using. There are certain custard powders which are famous in the market. They have got a strong vanilla taste to it, and then there are the ones which are a bit light on vanilla taste. So you can adjust your vanilla essence accordingly. So how will you know the caramel is done? It will take up a nice golden color and the granules should go away. Your target is the removal of the granules at any cost. If it's becoming too hot, raise it. Start doing it on side. Okay, so that will make these granules melt, but your caramel will not take too much of color. One more rule that we learned about making the caramel for the caramel custard the hard way, I'll say. I mean, we had to make lots of mistakes to learn this is, once you turned off the gas range, you remove the pan from the gas range, you keep on stirring this caramel. Because the pan is still hot, the caramel is still cooking, and if it cooks too much, your caramel is gone. It will give a burnt taste once it will come out. Okay, so I'm going to take out the beautiful molds I have got, and the first thing we do is we pour in our caramel in these molds. So I'm using heart shaped molds. I'll use about 2 heart shaped molds, and I'll use 2 round shaped molds. They can be silicon, they can be aluminium, totally up to you. You can use any of these molds. So I'll take this caramel and I'll start pouring them inside these containers. So I'm going to make 1 heart and 1 round, and I'll keep some caramel on side for the garnishing part. That is the most important thing that we consider while making our food. The food should look appealing. One actually eats with the eyes before they eat with their mouth. Okay. So before we go for the next step, let's get the area cleaned. Let's remove all these bowls that are here, these glass bowls. If you leave them here while working, it might move around. It can cause damage also. It can cause an accident also. So we'll remove all of them from here. Milk I'll remove 1 packet. 1 packet I'll leave there only for the users. and chocolate is something which I'll require the last. So I'm gonna save the chocolate also. Okay, so like I was telling you in the beginning, the important step, the step which is very important for anybody to understand, is the step in which you remove these bubbles from this. So as you can see, bubbles are still there on top. Let me just clean this area. I'm not liking this right now. So give me just about 15 seconds. We'll go back to that step. Yes. Now you'll notice I'm not wearing the gloves right now because I'm going to be working with the oven and I'm working with the caramel. So when you're working with something that hot, you should avoid wearing gloves. In fact, you should wash your hands properly, you should sanitize them, and you should come near the range at least after 30 seconds after sanitizing your hand, because the alcohol can catch fire. Okay, so the next step, like I was telling you, removing the bubbles. Yes, Sonal, you have to pour hot caramel, because if in case you let it cool down, the caramel will set inside the frying pan only. Samajit ji, I'm working with the caramel, so I cannot turn on the AC and the sound will actually go off. So no problem, sweating is always good. You burn fat and I need to burn. Okay, so I've got a normal strainer, I've got another glass bowl, and I've got this one. I'll just pass it through this. So what the passing will do, passing will hold back all the bubbles. So make sure the strainer is very close to the container, the other one, so the bubbles do not form up again. So once you're done, remove it. And you got a liquid which is free from bubbles. So this we can remove. And we go back to our molds that are there. So 2 moles, we have got the liquid. We'll pour the liquid in this. Make sure you're filling them right up till the top. Reason being, they will reduce in size once they start being your caramel. The molds become very strong, so they will not move around. When you pour the liquid, it will not move around too much. So just a second. Okay, now comes an important term we use in our kitchen, that is called as a double boiler. Okay, or a cooking method in which we are having water in the pan. So I'll just show you the pan also. Thank you so much, ma'am. Okay, so I have this pan, a metal pan. What I've done is, I kept this pan inside the oven only with the water. So now my pan is hot and the water is also hot. So when it's cooking, it is getting the heat from the oven, it's getting the steam also. The steam will help it cook, but will actually allow it not to burn. It will not burn if we have this. So I'll put some more water. Some more water I'll add here. And these molds will go inside. Some of the liquid of this coming on side is completely okay. Just to ensure caramel is not there on side. Oopsie, no problem. So once you put them here, you can top it up even more. Because all the bubbles that you see on top, they will all disappear in a while. How I normally work is, I put these molds right next to the oven, then I pour it. Just to show it to you, I'm doing it here on this table. So the spillage is the reason, or is the effect of that. So this goes inside the oven. I have put it on baking mode, temperature 160 degrees Celsius. 160 is like good enough for an oven of this size. If in case you've got a bigger oven, you can make it 165 also, but do not make it 180 at any cost. your caramel, the color will come on the product which you do not want, and it will not be cooked from inside. It will not be like the custard effect that we want. Okay, now let's go to our next thing, my favorite thing, the garnishing part. So for garnishing, I'm using one of the beautiful products which we actually came across when we were in our third year in the college. That is called as an isomalt. Okay, isomalt is a form of sugar only, which we'll be using in a while. So let me get this wiring part on side, because I don't want the wire to break off while talking to you. Okay, so this is isomalt. Looks like small granules of white color. So this is a sugar which has no taste. It's available quite easily in the market. I get it from a fixed brand in Jangpura. It's quite famous. So been going there since my college first year. The first thing I guess which I bought related to bakery was supposed to be I think butter only, the unflavored butter that we have got. Unsalted butter. So we let this cook. We let the sugar melt. Let this sugar cook for about 3 to 5 minutes, and then we'll go to the next step. Okay, Vandana ma'am. Okay, Vandana ma'am. As of now, what we have done is we have made a mixture. We combined together milk and curd, 100 grams each. We took 80 grams of condensed milk, 20 grams of cream we have taken. Post that we have added some the vanilla flavor as per our choice, and a full tablespoon of full tablespoon of the custard powder. That is what we have added to it. Okay, so once all of that has been combined, we have kept it aside. We have given a good whip. We have kept it aside for a good 5-8 minutes. We have made our caramel, which is right here. This is the color you're supposed to target for the caramel. So we have made the caramel. We have poured it inside the containers. So I have silicon containers of this type. I have used them. I poured them inside, followed by the liquid that we had made. And Vandana ji, we have to ensure that bubbles do not come inside that. Somebody is asking. Does not have an oven. Okay, the simplest way is a pressure cooker. So you take your pressure cooker. You have a stand normally that comes with the pressure cooker nowadays. If you do not have a stand, you take up a small what we call as what we keep under our cookers when you're keeping it outside to cool down, what we call as kadhai holders. You put that inside your cooker, you pour the water, you put this caramel custard, put the lid on top and remove the whistle. Whistle हटानी बहुत ज़रूरी है. अगर whistle लगा दी तो फिर कुछ और ही हो सकता है, which I haven't tried till now. So it can be cooked like that also. The timing will remain the same. I'm going to be cooking it here for about half an hour to 40 minutes. You can do the same thing in the cooker also. Half an hour to 40 minutes. And yes, Vandana ji, like I said before, you can always increase the sugar if in case you want to. Manish ji, this is quite healthy. Reason being, we have got milk substitute that's supposed to be our the only thing which is actually stronger in taste supposed to be the condensed milk. We have got natural cream, we have got natural milk, we are using curd. You want to avoid the sugar, the caramel at the bottom, you can do that also. You can go without the caramel also, but then it will be only custard, it will not be a caramel custard. That is very much allowed. So the sugar that I'm using, the invert sugar, if it's available, it is fine. Otherwise, a basic garnish for your caramel custard can be a mint or a basil also. Okay, so that comes out very well. I'm going to use this. I've got another garnish ready to be put on top. I'll be putting that one also in a while. Okay, so I'm just letting the sugar cook for a while, and once the sugar is done, we will make the garnish. We'll go to our coffee. So I'll show you two versions of coffee and a usage of one tool which I'm sure a lot of us have but you do not use. The ones who are saying hi right now, I'm not replying to them, but hi to everybody. It has been a testing time for each one of us. We all are facing problems. Traveling is difficult, so going out is difficult. We always keep on getting messages of things going wrong, but we have to ensure is that we stay safe. So when I went outside to get all these raw materials, I ensured I had my mask on, I had my shower cap on. When shopping, I ensured I'm not touching the things directly. I carried my own bags. And one of the most important thing which I guess most of us are forgetting is try not to use the gloves. Or if in case you're using the gloves, sanitize your hands, then put on the gloves, and then once you are done, remove the gloves and throw them away. Do not bring them back to the car. And yes, use your own private transports, please. Because no matter what people are saying, it is still not that safe to travel. You're almost there. The sugar is almost cooked. Okay, sorry for that. I think some message came in between. So I am back. Now asking a simple question. Choose between red, blue or green. I've got three colors. I'll give one color to my garnish. Blue, red, green. Any one color, anybody can choose. Ma'am, convection mode, again you will have to go by the manual that has been given to you. Convection, just ensure your fan is not running at a very high speed. If it's on at very high speed, this can go bad. Okay, first color I got was red. So we'll go by the red color. Using a gel color doesn't burn very fast. But again, to be on a safer side, we'll just keep on mixing it. What I'll do is, I'll take a small silicone cup and I'll transfer it to this silicone cup. Because I use this isomalt sugar at a lot of places, I don't want the other one to get destroyed. I don't want the color to get destroyed. Okay, so we've got the isomalt sugar right here. We'll take some red color. Yes. We'll take a toothpick and we'll give it a mix. So red is the color, so red is a rose, always is a heart-shaped caramel custard. Then we got a rose-shaped garnish which is being made, and we'll just stir it around. I don't want to use too much of isomalt because it's very bland in taste when compared to normal sugar. So and I want that roughness to be there in this rose on side. Roughness always looks nice. So getting stuck like this one finger is completely okay for chefs, but you guys avoid. This will burn, okay? We guys are used to the heat, we can handle, but it's difficult for you. So our rose is all set. We'll keep it on side. This has to cool down for a good 5-8 minutes before usage. And then we'll go to our next item, Amul ice cream. Okay. No ma'am, no butter, no nothing, it's just basic isomalt sugar. Nothing else has been added. Okay, now let's go to Delonghi version. So we're going to take a bowl. We'll take some coffee. Where is my favorite thing? Yes. We'll take coffee, we'll take sugar, and we'll need some water. Water, if it's hot, it's better. If it's regular, it's still okay. Doesn't make much of a difference. Box. Okay, the milk box. I'll just remove it. Give me a minute. Anybody viewing me, please ensure you are sending me no messages or no WhatsApp. It is becoming troublesome for me. The video gets paused if in case you send me a WhatsApp. I'll share my number at the last. So if in case you have any difficulty with anything about this recipe or any other recipe, you can always contact me. So I'll take sugar. I like my coffee a bit sweet, so I'll take more of sugar and the coffee powder. This is instant coffee powder. It's not your regular other version of coffee powder. It's an instant version. So do not just grind the beans and add it. We require the instant coffee powder for this purpose. Okay. To this, a bit of water. Not too much. Too much of water can actually destroy this. If in case you think the water is too much, add a bit more of sugar. Add a bit more of coffee base. So this base that you are making, what we used to call as fatty coffee when we were young, this version is stable. So I made this thing once in the last week, and it stayed for a good, I think about 4 to 5 days, and it wasn't spoiled. I finished it off because I was studying in the night, so it finished off by the night. The trick here is the blender that you have, remove one blade. That's very important. You want to do it by hand, you're most welcome. You can use a whisk also. I also have a whisk. You can use a whisk also, but I'll avoid using the whisk here right now. Okay. Liquid is a bit too much as per my preference. So remove some liquid and I'll add some more of coffee to this. Expert in this supposed to be my wife, not me. So she makes this a lot. This is her what we call as unique recipe that the first thing which I had from her hand was this coffee only. So we'll add this coffee. And we'll continue. Ma'am, ratio can be about 30 grams of coffee, about 70 grams of sugar, and about another 70 grams of water. Nothing more than that. Use crystal sugar, don't use a powdered sugar. Crystal always gives a better effect. The whipping becomes a lot more easier. So yes, my base is ready. I'll keep this aside and I'll start the plating process. Okay, so as I told you, caramel custard takes about 35 to 40 minutes. Once it is out of the oven, you have to cool it down. You have to cool it in the fridge. So we keep it in the fridge for a good another 2 hours, then we use it. So what I'll do is, I have made them in the night only for you. I made few samples in the night. I'll just bring them out. We'll start the plating. Okay. All right, we are back. How to check it's cooked? I'll tell you that part also. So for checking if it's cooked or not, a basic knife, insert it right at this in the center. After at least half an hour you do that. If in case nothing is stuck on both the sides, that means it is done. You can take it out. If it's a bit liquidy, it's completely, if it's liquid on your knife, it's okay, but no custard should stick on it. Okay. So let me get a nice plate for this purpose. I will use rectangle plate for this purpose. Or again, question goes out, rectangle or round? Rectangle or round? You can ignore the flirting person, that's my wife. Okay, anybody choose rectangle or round? Then I'll go with the next step. Oh, nobody commented? Oh, somebody commented. Round. Okay, we'll go with the round only. Let's remove this. So we have taken. Sorry for that. So we live again. Round, rectangle, we are live. Okay, so your caramel custard with the heart and the caramel on side. This I'm going to keep aside, and I'll come to the coffee now. So coffee, I'll make two versions. I'll make one big version for you first of all. So we have got this. To this, I'm going to put some ice. So let me get some ice quickly because we're almost out of time. We'll put some ice. After adding the ice, what we do is we take the milk. So for milk, what I'll do is I'll use this, what we call as a coffee press. So coffee press, we use our milk. What coffee press does is it actually adds air. So you can do this with the hot milk or a cold milk also. You put this and you start. So you got a very frothy milk, nice looking frothy milk. So our milk goes at the bottom. And on the top, we have got the coffee coming in. Like I said, I like my coffee sweet and a bit strong also. So got lots of coffee, you got lots of sugar in this. And let me clear the full table. Let me give you the full picture of the two items that we have made today. There you have it, our Delonghi coffee with caramel custard and a rose on top. So if in case you have any difficulty coming up with the recipe, you can always call me up. My number is 9810-768-994, and as you can see, I am program director and chef trainer at Batel Hotel and Tourism Business School. That's in Ansal University, Gurgaon. Thank you so much and have a safe day. Thank you so much. Anybody has any question, they can surely ask. It's right here. If anybody has a question, they can ask. Plating, what I had done was, repeating plating will be a bit difficult, but I can show you another plate. So let me take a rectangle plate, I'll just show you. Coffee, we'll just put it here. So rectangle plate, we have got the mold with us. We will take the knife that I had here. If you don't find a knife, a basic toothpick will also work. So take a toothpick, move it around, and your caramel custard comes out. The caramel custard, the roundel that we had, the roundel is right here, and then we add some jelly. Here you go. So now we have two versions of the caramel custard and a Delonghi coffee. Anybody has any question, please feel free to ask. Anybody has any question here? Thank you so much everybody, and see you soon. Thank you so much. Custard close-up is right here. I can remove this flour for you, so the view becomes easier. Right. Thank you so much.